We'll look on to 6.4, board committee reports.
We met with policy last Thursday night. The first readings of, 400s, right? First,
Yep.
I gotta think here. So everything in the 400s, basically there was no big changes within the district. These are all changes that came out of the last year's legislative session, looking at those 400s. Second reading up for policies 902, 902A, Addendum A, 905 fundraisers, Addendum A and B. We thoroughly went through these. These are the ones coming out of Community Ed. They were approved by their Community Ed Advisory Council. We read through them. We are adding, the biggest thing is that the forms that are used at the end of the night to reconcile concessions and ticket sales are now being added to the policy so everybody can see what is completed. Does anybody have any questions?
I do. On policy, I think it was, 905.5 Addendum B, the gate receipt form. Do we have to be so specific as to if you take money for, like, do they charge to get in to see Grand March for prom? And those kinds of things as well, not just basketball games, and that, does that have to be written in there? Because I feel like if any money changes hands, it should be documented in that same format.
Do they do theater, like when they do the plays and
If you have
stuff?
a
Do they
play.
have or do they take tickets for that?
And how do you keep track of that? I mean, would that be the same thing? Does it have to be so specific that it would, include that as well?
Form for, they collect, so I don't know what they did for homecoming, but I know when we do one act play, it's just different. It's all go to Cindy, here it is. It wouldn't be that hard to, here's the form that we use from now on, so anything that we collect money from at the 7 through 12 or whatever, that's an easy fix. We just have to send it out from here on, I'll use this. But for the category 2 stuff, no, we don't. Just category 1, we have our own form.
Well, and that's what I noticed was documented on there. So it was like basketball games and football stuff, that kind of thing. But then I thought, well, if we were charging people to come in for prom or homecoming,
Apparently, I didn't make it this year, but yeah, they charge for the coronation, right?
okay.
Those of you who've been at them more than I have.
Activity fee, does that count for that or not? I don't know.
I mean, would that make your life? I
They
don't
paid
know. I
for
kinda feel-
coronation this year?
What's that?
That you had to pay to get into coronation this
That's what I
year?
heard,
Yes, I was there.
yeah.
Okay, so where did that money go?
Is it like a student council, they
And
raise
then-
funds for it? Okay.
Yeah, they put on the dance and
It was pretty minimum, and then there was a discount if you brought a can.
canned goods.
Yeah, for the
Yeah.
bands,
Yeah.
yeah.
So what you're asking is there a form for that?
Yeah.
There is just an activity,
Okay.
they have a form that,
Does it have to be so formal that we write that in the policy as well, that these things should be done? I mean,
I think it needs to be attached if we're gonna do the other ones, just get the form and put it on.
We can add it, we can add the form in,
okay.
same way.
the LAFA manual actually has all the forms that you have to have for student activity, because they're already in the first manual.
And what may make it easier, what may make it actually easier is if we just put all the forms as one addendum, so we don't have to keep adding like what happened with 902, where all of a sudden we had A, B, C, D, and we just have forms, addendum A. And then
Do
we
all of
just
those
add
other
that.
things like if you have a play, that money goes into what fund?
That goes into the general fund for plays.
Okay, and then
That's where the,
prom would go into student activity fund again?
yep,
Okay.
Just a thought.
Then we'd have all three of them.
Yeah,
We'll just add that one into it.
thank you.
Because we use
Yeah,
them.
thank you.
It's a simple one, just to add the form.
Okay.
That's good to head off that problem before it becomes one, so that's good.
Thought about it, I guess I.
So if you guys want, if you want to make, when we do the motion for that tonight on the 905.5, just put addendum A, putting the forms together. So we don't need an addendum B.
Consolidating forms.
That way I know Cindy
So
will tell us which forms
Just
we need.
cross this bottom one off.
Well, you still would have addendum E, because that's just the
Yep.
cash box, and then, so you mean, are
We'll
you,
we'll
in
put all the
regard,
forms into that.
Okay, you're
To
talking about
addendum
addendum B, though, you said A, you meant B, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or the gate receipts?
Yeah, I think if we put addendum and then put forms,
And
Oh,
then
and say-
category, the whole bunch.
and then that way, all the forms that we know we need, we can make sure that those are all posted.
Okay, so just change, instead of gate receipt forms, to
We'll just
all
put-
forms?
Yep.
We streamlined it, and then we go back to, let's keep it.
Because that way Cindy's gonna know which ones we need.
Okay.
And if the forms change in the requirements, we just do it right there at our level.
Any other questions on policy?
No? No? Anybody else have any committee reports? Okay, moving on to 6.5, superintendent report.
A few of the things I'll go through when we go into closed session, just so I can bring up some updates. Just to recap, some of the events that have taken place, I think I think the whole crisis management process is really coming in very well. I look at the first incident that we had at the high school, and like Wayne said, it took hours because of the investigation that was going on. And we learned a lot from that as far as identifying, okay, how can we get out, what information do we need to get out to what, stakeholders pertinent at the times that we need. As we have high school, as we have staff asking questions and they want updates. So you're trying to figure out what are the stakeholders that you need to get the information to in a timely manner. I look at that whole process. We went through and we learned. I know you guys actually met, today or when did you have your meeting? A follow-up one just on the crisis management team, Friday. Just looking at these, every time we have something like this happen, what did we learn from it? What would we do a little bit different? One of the first things we identified from the statement that went out from that first one, and again, you try to get the information out as quick as you can. I look at that situation, and we were talking about it again today. At the end of that day, we've got Wayne, we've got Jeff, we've got Tracy, we got myself. We're all trying to get the statement together that ended up getting put out to everybody. And we knew it was an ongoing investigation, but by putting ongoing investigation into that statement that went out to the public, that just made people think, oh, we got an ongoing threat. It wasn't an ongoing threat. But boy, did it light up and a few for both of us as far as questions from people. We knew there wasn't an ongoing threat. We'd evaluated it. But it was an ongoing investigation for law enforcement. But by putting just that verbiage into it, gave people, it wasn't clarity for them. But you're trying to put the information out as quick as you can because people are going home and social media and texting and everything else. So then the process this past week, incident happens at 1:30 in the afternoon. By 2 o'clock, we're meeting in the middle school conference room with our SRO, Heidi, myself, Jeff, Dilworth deputies. We've got the county attorney on the phone. All that's taking place within 30 to 45 minutes of the incident. But again, we have the homeowner has decided to post some things. Luckily, that went right to our website. We were able to control it because it went to our Facebook page, which takes an administrative level to release it, which we didn't do, so that we could manage the situation and see what are the events. But Heidi had to take statements, Jeff had to take statements, we got kids being interviewed, we've got all these people. So that's all happening Monday afternoon. We get through, and remember, this is at 1:30, and now we're going from 1:30 to 3 o'clock, doing all this quick investigation because before kids leave the building. We get that done. Jeff, Heidi, Joe, myself, all met with all the staff at that site, right in the media center, right after school, brought them up to speed. Here's what we know. Here's what we're doing about it. Here's the next steps. that all took place Monday night or Monday afternoon. Put the statement out. Tuesday rolls around, more social media, more pot stirring. So by Wednesday morning, we have media. And we just kept going through the process. As soon as I knew from Tuesday night that we were going to have pretty good chance some people maybe keeping their kids home, some media, most likely, started out the morning right away on that. Then come to find out it's on the radio stations, the Buzz, and what else not. And so I got a hold, Jeff, let's get a hold of law enforcement. We get the Dilworth Chief of Police in for a meeting. We get all the players. So we've got the county, ourselves, and we worked through a joint statement, and it just kept going through that process, trying to get it out as quick as we could. But again, knowing that people are on the social media. But it worked out pretty well because as we worked through the whole process, we've got one place where all the information's going through. And so funnel it district-wide, funnel it to our office. I would then work we had Clay County involved in it. Are you giving a thumbs up on the statement? We got the county attorney, are you giving a thumbs up? And try to get all that done by noon. And then sit and get interviewed by 2 TV stations at the same time to get the information. And we've got to get the information out to media, we got to get the information out to parents, and we got to get the information out to our staff. But you try to figure out the order to go in to get the information. Who needs the information readily, knowing what's coming out at noon on Media Blitz. So you're never going to have enough information for some people. And you deal with that through the social media. But the one thing we can't do is to try to play, let's react to social media and try to put out more things little by little. Stick with the facts. And I truly believe that that's worked in our favor now. It seems to have, okay, let's not have more going out on social media where we've got parents and homeowners and all of them adding more gasoline on the fire. So it's an interesting process, and we just keep evaluating it. What are we doing well with it? What can we do better next time? And so I talked to some of you last week as far as how many phone calls and what else not, but there's extremes of people assuming that it's the end of the world, and it's scary, the idea of kids actually seeing someone with a gun, But, unfortunately, we're not law enforcement. We can't dictate those things. So that was interesting. I thought the week ended I loved the opportunity, and some parents helped make that happen with media, to get DAY to come out on Friday and do that videoing of Joe and the kids. It was a great way of ending the week with a positive on the district. And there are some good things going on right now. Other pieces, we had our admin team do some professional development, start that process with Dr. Hill this morning, and I think we just had a real good, recap of where we're at right now. Wayne brought up the fact of the 6/12 district meeting. Joe and Margot had the Birth to 5 meeting. So we've been trying to show people that here's what we said we're going to do. These things are happening. And so week 2, all the sites, we have those meetings. Week 3, administratively, we talk about what came out of those site meetings. All the minutes are going into the team drive so everybody can access them. Everybody's using the same template. So all of our staff can go in and take a look at the birth to 5, the 6 to 12, and then they can start looking at the site level meetings. It's all there. So if somebody to say that they don't know or are people following up, it'll show up in the actions right there in the minutes if somebody didn't do, because it says exactly who's responsible, what's the next steps, all of that. So it's a process, but it's really starting to get alignment. So it's just a good feel to the start of the year. It is making some people uneasy. Again, that's transition, because all of a sudden we are putting people into leadership positions and saying, you need to go on record, okay? You're part of the leadership team. You want to be part of the put yourself on record with, we're asking you for what would you recommend? And I know, Wayne, we've all run into this where all of a sudden it'll be, no, that's your guys' decision. No, you're on leadership now. It's a recommendation. That's all you got to do is make a recommendation. We'll make the final determination, but you're going to go on record as part of leadership on this. And we put it out there for everybody. And that will slowly close down and knock down those walls. So it's fun to see it in action. And I just love it because I'm not there to be the bad guy. They run the 6-12. These guys run the birth to 5. Make your recommendations, folks. So again, it's going to be a transition for some people, but I think it's going to put us all on the same page much better. So it's not us against them or whomever.
Good.
So
I like it.
Definitely.
that's it.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to 7.1, the approval of the September 24th meeting.
So moved.
Motion by Amy, is there a second?
Oh, go ahead, Rob.
Second by Raleigh. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Moving on to the consent agenda. Claims and accounts.
Bills this month, $213,556.27.
All right, thank you. There is a lot of donations. They are all listed there. Most are for PBIS. Last is for middle school band. Looking for a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Motion by Lindsay, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Bobby. Any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Same sign. Moving on to 9.1, under the policies. These are the first reading of the 400 series. 413, harassment, violence forum. 418, drug-free workplace. 419, tobacco-free. 421, gifts to employees. 422, policies incorporated by reference. 423, employee-student relationships. 424, I am so tired, sorry, I was Duluth all week for days and I'm tired. I've hit the wall right now. Okay, 424, the license status, and 427, the workload limits for certain special ed teachers. So again, this is the first reading. Looking for a motion.
So moved.
Motion by Amy, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Bobby. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Okay, this is 9.2. These policies are 902, use of district facilities, 902, the addendum, 905.5, fundraiser concessions, 905.5, addendum A, the cash box reconciliation form, 505, addendum B, all gate receipt forms, correct?
So if we just move all of them to the forms, the A and the B addendums, just put it under A for forms.
To include the ones
So
we,
cash box, all gates.
Yep.
So just all
All forms.
addendum B.
So it'll just be 905.
905.5 addendum.
And then
Addendum.
No.
that way we'll find out from Cindy if there's any that were missed. Because that way we know we use them and everybody in the public knows them, that we
Okay.
use them. And we'll put them all as part of it.
Okay. Okay, so you have that one, Amy, listed?
We're just gonna have one addendum.
Right.
One addendum.
One addendum,
One
just
addendum
all
A,
forms.
all forms. Okay. Looking for a motion to approve that.
So moved.
Okay, Lindsay, and is there a second?
Second.
Second by Amy. Does anybody have any questions? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Okay, moving on to 9.3. This is the audit. as presented, and it came out this afternoon, and we've had people that would like to table this audit, just so you can look through the books. Any questions? We all know it's not going to change the outcome of the audit, just so people have any clarification time, and we will put this on for the next meeting, so that it will be tabled. I'm looking for a motion to table.
So moved.
Motion by Raleigh, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Lindsay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Moving on to 9.4, lane changes, that was in your packet. Looking for a motion to approve the lane changes.
So moved.
Motion by Bobby. Is there a second? Second by Amy. Any questions?
And you understand all it was just updated one more person.
Yep. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed, same sign. Moving on to 10.1, the next school board meeting will be at 5:30 at the high school media center. That is because of the
The
Candidate
candidate
forum.
forum.
candidate forum will
At
be
7 o'clock.
afterwards. So again, make sure you note that time change at 5:30. There is no committee meeting ahead of time. It's just the board at 5:30. We are going to be going into closed session again to talk about contract negotiations. Anything further? Okay, so the meeting, as of right now, is 7:02. We will go into closed session and then return to close.